Hello there. Welcome back to the Legalpreneur podcast. Today's YouTube episode is about the tech layoffs. If you have not heard, the tech world is going crazy right now with layoffs. And unfortunately, since the beginning of 2023, about 100,000 people have been laid off from their jobs. And this is just from the tech world. This does not include medium to small size businesses. I do have opinions about small businesses, but this episode is specifically going to be about big businesses and all the tech layoffs going on, and what it means for small businesses, because this is exactly what I saw when COVID hit. And this is why it is so important for small business owners to pay attention. When COVID hit, obviously there were a lot more layoffs. However, there was a lot of course, we know there's just a lot of uncertainty around what was going to happen. How long are people going to be laid off? Some people thought it was only going to be 2 weeks. Some people thought it might be just a little bit. And everything was crazy, as we know. Don't even need to repeat that story. But what I saw as an attorney for small businesses, specifically an intellectual property attorney, what I saw was a lot more infringement going on. And I'm going to tell you exactly why this happened. But first, I just want to preface this by saying you need to make sure that you are protecting everything in your business if you have not already. This means legally protecting everything. Even if you're making money, you may think, oh, this is great. Business is awesome. But guess what? If you have not protected even legally set up your business, everything can be taken away from you like that. So make sure you're taking the necessary steps to protect yourself. That way it's not taken away from you, or you're not losing all your money. So really the three main steps that every small business owner needs to take is, number one, set up the proper entity. For small businesses, this is normally setting up an LLC, limited liability company. Also using contracts, just use written contracts. And then intellectual property, making sure you are protecting what you have and you're not infringing on anybody else's intellectual property. So that one's twofold. And intellectual property, patents, trademarks, copyrights, most small business owners, your biggest concern is going to be trademarks. Now, what I saw the most of during COVID when it hit and the whole world was going crazy, it was so many more infringement matters. And not just infringement matters, but also so many more trademarks being filed. Why? Because there's so many more businesses in the marketplace now, and that means people are going to be infringing even more. Whether you protect yourself or not, if you're not on the lookout for new businesses and people possibly infringing on you, you're going to spend 100 times more money going back to defend your business than if you were to just spend a little bit of money up front to protect what you have. When you spend a little bit of money up front, it's going to take you so much farther than if you wait until there's an issue to legally protect your business. And I see it all the time. People are like, oh, I'm too small. I don't need to do this, or I don't need to do that. I'm like, actually you do. But even if they decide to wait, never fails. They come back within a couple of months. They're like, oh my gosh, I should have done this when you told me. Now I found somebody infringing. And so not only do we have to then take the steps to protect them, but now we have to spend money to take care of whatever's going on, which could have easily been nipped in the butt if we would have taken care of it from the beginning. And when there were so many more new trademark applications filed when COVID hit, that has still kept the trademark office way behind on the total application process. So when COVID hit, March 2020, we were telling clients, look, from the date we file, it's a minimum of 6 to 7 months. If there's no issues, no office actions, should be good to go within 6 to 7 months. Y'all, right now, it's taking at least a year. Really, it's like 13 months at a minimum. So if you want to make sure that you're protected, you got to get your application filed yesterday, when it comes to trademarks. And that's why the search is so important. Often you'll hear me talk about the trademark search. That is legitimately the most important step in the trademark process. And so you have to make sure that you are filing those applications as quickly as possible, because it will take over a year to get that registration. And doing that search now, it's going to give you that peace of mind, knowing that you can run with the name. You can continue building and growing your business, knowing that you're not infringing on somebody else. So with all of the new layoffs, trust me, there's going to be so many more new businesses within the coming months. There's going to be so many more new trademark applications filed within the coming months. And so you have to make sure that you are taking the time to educate yourself around the legal stuff and actually protect yourself. Because of course, we want to protect ourselves, get the LLC, make sure we're using written contracts, and filing those applications to register your intellectual property. Now, on the flip side of that, you have to make sure you're educated to know when to recognize infringement or when to recognize that you've been wronged, because that's what I see more often than anything else is business owners don't recognize that they're infringing on somebody or that somebody's infringing on them. And the longer you wait, the more expensive it's going to be to rectify the situation. So with all these tech layoffs, small business owners, be prepared, because they are about to hit the marketplace if they haven't already. And that means, number one, more competition, but it also means that there's going to be more infringement matters. There's just going to be more legal issues overall if you have not already protected yourself. I hope this makes you aware of what's going on. I'm not here to scare you. I just want to make sure that you are taking the steps necessary to protect yourself. Because often people want to wait until there's an issue. Well, trust me, the issue's coming if it hasn't already happened. So make sure you're protecting yourself up front. Don't wait. If you need help, we have everything possible that you could need help with. Thelegalpreneur.com, the link's there below. Make sure you share this with all your small business owner friends so that way they know what's coming, and that way you can all be protected. All right, we'll see you next week.